Welcome to the Deerwood Realty YouTube channel. I'm John Schenk, founder and managing broker of Deerwood Realty here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're going to do something a little different tonight, have a little fun, go out into the non-real estate world for a bit and just kind of look at something that I just kind of wanted to go through and see what you all thought about it. I woke up this morning and I was on Twitter and I saw this, Mr. Beast did this thing and, everyone's mad. And I'm like, everybody can't be mad because I didn't even know it existed. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And so apparently he built, this is what I got. He built wells in Africa. Okay. And some people aren't happy about that. That's it. That's where we've gotten. That's where we've gotten in the world today. And I just kind of wanted to go over it because I've thought about it all day. And I have trouble believing that. Is it a manufactured controversy or what it is? I don't know. But let's get to the article, the one that I saw that best kind of explains what's going on. It says it's from CNN, but I saw it on Yahoo, so we're going with that as the credit. Let's just read through it. It says, Mr. Beast builds 100 wells in Africa, attracting praise and some criticism. Okay, so now we're kind of dialing down a bit. So I watched the YouTube video, and it reminded me of when he did the site video. I thought it was fantastic. I mean, just fantastic. So, but let's go and see what's going on. It says American YouTuber Mr. Beast's latest video, in which he says he built 100 wells across Africa, has drawn a complex response online since it was published on Saturday. Now, in which he says he built 100 wells, are we disputing that? Says some Kenyan activists and journalists said he has spotlighted the failures of the Kenyan government, while Mr. Beast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, anticipates he will be canceled following the reaction. So, in theory, like when you're watching it, I guess you're supposed to say, well, the government should have done that, which I didn't make that connection when I was watching it. It says, the new wells will provide clean drinking water for up to 500,000 people in Cameroon, Kenya, Somalia, Uganda, and Zimbabwe, Donaldson said, while an accompanying fundraiser to support local water aid organizations has raised more than $300,000 by Monday morning. So, 500,000 people are having closer access to clean water, right? And $300,000 more raised as of Monday morning to continue this work. And that's supposed to be a bad thing. I just don't see it. And so it says, prominent activist Boniface Mwangi contrasted Donaldson's actions with those of the Kenyan government, saying that while we are a shameful, horrible country, a begging nation governed by millionaires. He added on X, formerly known as Twitter, which is kind of fun. Every 5 years, we give newly elected members of parliament and senators $5 million car grant, $33,000. Fuel those cars every month, but we have no money to drill boreholes for our people. And I do understand that logic. Look, these people are living hard lives, right? And if you could just have some water, it would kind of not make things so miserable. So, in theory, you would think that the government's main response would be to help these people, just have a somewhat better life. You'd think that'd be top of the list. Now, you can attack the United States. Where are we helping our people, or what? It seems like we've kind of lost the help of the American. Look at the homeless situation or the unhoused. Billions of dollars being thrown at that, nothing being done. But in this case, to me, it's not very comparable because it's such a bad deal over there. It's so bad. The poverty is real. Then there was another one. Similarly, freelance journalist Ferdinand Omondi lauded Donaldson's efforts, but said it's embarrassing that a YouTuber jetted into Kenya on a charity tour to perform tasks our taxes should have completed ages ago. Well, that's not really criticizing Mr. Beast. That's just saying this is kind of stupid. We should have done better. And that's the way I see it in the first guy too. We should have done better. I I mean, government should do something for its people. I mean, why have a government? But of course, that gets into like some people don't really get to choose their own government. They're just kind of born in it. So then it says CNN reached out to a Kenyan government spokesperson for comment, but had not received a response at the time of publication. But at the same time, like, look, why aren't we asking the government of Zimbabwe or Cameroon or any of these other places? Why did we focus so hard on the Kenyan government? Like, it says Saran Kaba Jones, founder and CEO of Face Africa, an organization working to improve water infrastructure and sanitation in sub-Saharan Africa, told CNN, I've been doing this for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue the work because funding, awareness, and advocacy all take work. I have no problem with that. And then she said, and then she added, overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all the attention. It's kind of frustrating, but it's also understanding the nature of how the world is. I don't know that the white male figure has anything to do with it. When Oprah donates stuff to little kids, I mean, I just, that seemed like a shot. It says, but even then, she praised Donaldson for shining the spotlight on the need for clean water supply, but warned that the issue is sustainability. It's one thing to go in and install the well. It's another thing for us to go back there 3, 4, or 5 years from now and see if that well is still functional. Well, he says in the video that he's paying for infrastructure, that they should last for a long time. And even, like, look, here's where I'm at. The guy builds a well, okay? And I mean, it looks like he used, like, good contractors. Right? It looks like he used good materials. I mean, if it doesn't work out, I mean, it's still better than nothing, right? If somebody can have fresh water close to their village for 10 days, that's still better than the situation they have. It says, Kaba Jones told CNN that the Face Africa works in areas where 60% of wells are broken and people go back to drinking from the creek because there was no infrastructure put in place for follow-up, for maintenance, for repair, and said she hoped Donaldson's well-building effort included this infrastructure. Well, it appears to have. And it also, how is it that the guy can go all the way to Africa, build these wells? This lady's in charge of building wells and had no idea that he was doing it. That just seems kind of odd. It says, I mean, is the criticism mild based on what we're reading? Yes. It seems to me it's very mild. It says, while much of the reaction to Donaldson's video seems to focus on how it shamed the Kenyan government, which I didn't really get that. I was watching. Its creator anticipated a backlash, saying on X that he knows I'm going to get canceled because I uploaded a video helping people, and to be 100% clear, I don't care. And we're going to come back to that. I think... I don't know that you can say he anticipated a backlash, but he saw what happened when he did the Vision video. I didn't see the prosthetics videos. I didn't. But I did see the Vision one, and I spoke about it at the time. To criticize him for this is, in my opinion, wrong. Like, just totally wrong. It says, aspiring Kenyan politician Francis Gatho, I don't know, criticized Donaldson's video, criticized his video, saying on X that it perpetuated the stereotype that Africa is dependent on handouts and philanthropic intervention, though Gatho's comments attracted criticism of their own. Well, so, like, based on this, what I'm to understand is if he would have built wells in, I don't know, the Middle East, okay, then, like, that would have been okay. But it's where he chose to help the people that's the problem. No, I didn't, like, when I watched the video, just so you know, I didn't get this. I didn't get that he was in any way negative or any way exploitative of the people in the villages. I didn't see it. It says, and then it says, Donaldson is the most popular individual creator on YouTube with more than 220 million subscribers. He's become known for his philanthropy, posting videos in which he sponsored 1,000 blind people's cataract surgery and bought prosthetic limbs for 2,000 amputees. I saw the blind one, didn't see the amputees. But this is where I have a little issues. It says such videos have helped him build a business empire potentially worth more than $1 billion. But those are 2 videos out of, I suspect he's had more than 100 by now. So, I mean, on the percentage level, and I also reject, like, in the video, he says 100% of the proceeds from this video go to the philanthropical foundation that he started. So, I mean, he's not really profiting off of it, in my opinion. Some critics have previously accused Donaldson of exploiting vulnerable people to generate views and revenue, but he said on X that I'm always going to use my channel to help people and try to inspire my audience to do the same. Which if you grew up when I did, okay, this is fantastic. When I grew up, we watched MTV all the time. MTV never did anything for anyone. In fact, most of the time, it highlighted social decline. And I don't think in one time, not to be too political, but MTV never had a Republican that they liked. In the 20 years, that it was on, 10 years maybe they showed videos. After that, it got a little dicey. But there was no way that MTV was doing anything to this level to spread, to increase awareness amongst the younger population. And so I thought we could just go and look real quick. I want to check one thing here. I want to just see, here's the tweet. We've spent over 8 months working on tomorrow's video, and it's the greatest thing I've ever done. So excited for all you to watch it. Now look, it's not like he went over there in a day and did 100 wells. And I mean, to film this and everything, it took 8 months. So he put out a serious amount of cash. And you may say, well, he has all the cash, so he can do that. But I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. There are plenty of other billionaires. I'm thinking of one in particular who could do much for the world and doesn't do anything other than political advocacy. And it's always a certain kind of politics. And it's never about helping people. There's never you never see the fruits of that person's labor. And then here's the thing. It says, I already know I'm going to get canceled because I uploaded a video helping people. And to be 100% clear, I don't care. I'm always going to use my channel to help people and try to inspire my audience to do the same. There's nothing wrong with that. So I have some stuff I just wanted to go over. I looked at it from a philosophical. I was kind of lost because I don't understand the criticism, because if you've ever been in a situation where you see people that are just dirt poor, right? Dirt poor, their lives are so hard. And you think to yourself, look, if there's just a small thing I could do to make this person's life a little bit easier, I should probably do it. And so I looked at it from two little things. I did a little philosophical analysis between two different ways. I did Stoicism and deontological, ethics and principles. So from a Stoic point of view, the controversy surrounding Mr. Beast's actions could be seen as an opportunity to practice virtue and indifference to external criticism. Stoicism would focus on the intent and virtue of the act itself rather than the ensuing public discourse. A Stoic might ask, is the act of providing aid virtuous and within one's power to perform? And how can one remain indifferent to criticism while continuing to do what's right? And I mean, he is doing this. I'm not saying he's a Stoic. I'm just saying he's doing something right. He's not worrying about what other people are saying. And I really find it hard to believe that anyone thinks he's doing something bad. The most things I saw was criticism of, why couldn't we do this for our own people? And then in contrast, a deontological perspective would emphasize the moral duty to help those in need, regardless of the outcome or the perception of others. It would argue that Mr. Beast's duty is to use his resources for the greater good, and it's fulfilled through its actions. Questions a deontologist might consider include, what is Mr. Beast's duty as an individual with significant resources, and does the action respect the autonomy and dignity of those being helped? And I think if you looked at that video, if you watched it, it was not exploitive to me in any way. I mean, I thought they showed great dignity, and I thought they were very respectful of where they were and trying to help people. I mean, the highest form of humanity was on display right there. And then I just kind of had some fun with some questions that you could ask, and we could work through. So let me get through it right here. It's in my notes. So one question is, how does Mr. Beast's decision to build wells align with Stoic virtues? And then the answer that I came up with some help is, building wells can be seen as an expression of practical wisdom and justice, aiming to make basic human needs without seeking external validation. which is fantastic. And then another one is, does Mr. Beast have a deontological duty to help, and did he fulfill this duty? And yes, as someone with the means to help, he has a moral obligation, and by providing tangible aid, he fulfills this duty. And then what would a Stoic say about the backlash Mr. Beast is facing? A Stoic would advise focusing on the actions within one's control, which is the act of giving, rather than the reactions it provokes. And I think that, I mean, it's very powerful, right? Do you think Mr. Beast is going to stop doing philanthropy because of these squeaky people saying this was somehow, bad? Absolutely not. And that's fantastic. It says, can philanthropy be truly altruistic according to deontological ethics? And yes, if the philanthropy is driven by a sense of duty and the right intentions without seeking personal gain, it aligns with deontological principles. Now, he could have done this video wrong, right? He could have done it wrong. He could have been like, he could have been like, hey, for you to get this well, you have to do a challenge, right? That'd be iffy. He could have taken half the money and said, you know what, I'm just going to keep this for my back pocket, and I'm using this to build my presence. But he didn't do that. One other question was, how can Mr. Beast ensure his actions are sustainable and respect the communities helping? Which is interesting, because who cares if it's sustainable? These people have no water. But it says he can engage with local organizations for the long-term maintenance of the wells, which he's already said he did, and involve community members in the process, adhering to both Stoic and deontological values. Okay. So normally I'd be like, what do you think? Right? And I'd say, put it in the comments below. I'm not going to do that tonight because my mind is set. I think he did a great thing. Okay. If someone comes at me for that, I'm not real interested in it. I was surprised. And if you do watch the video and you thought differently, well then you're welcome to your opinion. But I wanted to share it, and I wanted you to know, like, people often want to know, like, how would I think when I'm helping someone buy a home or selling a home? This is how I think. If you don't like who I am or what I'm thinking, then that's okay. I'm probably not your real estate agent, and that's fine. But with that, I'm going to head on out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you had some fun with this one. It wasn't the heavy, the economy stinks, real estate agents are terrible video that we do normally, or at least for the last couple months. So we'll find out if you liked it, because we'll see more views. And if not, then we know that you don't like it. By the way, I know I'm leaving. This is going to screw up my channel because it's me talking about something other than real estate all the time. But I just felt like if you see something, look, Mr. Beast has like 200 and some odd million subscribers. He doesn't need my help, right? I've got like 230 or something. I mean, I'm not going to, all I'm going to do is tell my subscribers what I think, and it's up to them. But, the world could be a better place if people stepped up and did things with the wealth they have. Now, they don't have to be forced into it or guilt tripped into it, but when somebody actually do it, and they accomplish something, they should be praised. And I think the vast majority of people realize what a great thing is that he's doing, and I wish him the best of success going forward. With that, I'm out. Been too long. Subscribe, maybe, or not. Later.